Welcome to 4 Cities and 421 Flies.
Welcome back to 421 Flies. Today, quick little cargo transport mission, Mochton to Halifax, Canada. Picking up a few it's probably not even an hour, but some flight time in the A320. Honestly, this thing. It's like sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. I don't know if any of you have the same experience. Yeah. As with every other aircraft, it's the landings, right? Everything else seems to go, mostly. Had a crash yesterday that was crazy. Made it the entire flight till the very end. I did take my eye off the stick, so it's kind of my fault. Yeah. Was kind of my fault.
Indica 421 contact Moncton Center on 127.125. Good day.
127.125 Indica 421. Goodbye. Moncton Center Indica 421 is at 2,100 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Indica 421 Moncton Center altimeter 29.57 radar contact. Continue.
Not a professional pilot. Not a private pilot. Not a virtual pilot either. This is 421 Flies at 4 cities. And, yeah, I gotta tell you, these A320 flights, it's so different than the Boeings, right? The 747s or 37, you know, it's a completely different configuration. I like the idea, though. Basically, get this airplane in the air, and after that, it will get you back on the ground at the other airport. If you know what you're doing, which I barely do. That's why I only carry cargo on these things. You can always get another microwave. Nice clear day here up in Canada. This place is usually covered in snow. Yeah, so we did a cargo run last night, and everything was fine till you get to the very end, till you get to the airport. And then it's like, great, which runway? And I did turn off the waypoint icons. Like, I'm trying to be realistic here. I'm trying to be real. And so, you know, I turned off the little...
You are 2,500 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 8,000 feet altimeter 29.57.
All right, I gotta go down.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet Indica 421.
Sorry about that. Sometimes I get a little aggressive with the throttle. So yeah, last night flying the A320, coming in to Atlanta, doing a contract run for FedEx, right? Every time their planes are filled up, if there's some more, they hire somebody else. Okay, great, I'll take it. And got all the way in to Atlanta. Couldn't, because I turned off the icons, right? So I don't know. I'm just gonna navigate using instruments. I got the runway correct, but the wrong direction. And so at the very last minute, literally 1,000 feet from touchdown, the pattern approach icons came up at the other end of the runway. It was only later on.
Please expedite your descent 8,000 feet.
Yeah, I'm on it. It was only later on after the flight that I realized you gotta press the LS button on the A320 once you're on approach. LS, and then once you're locked in, on approach. Oops. I thought the airplane just did it, right? There's a robot on this, right? Okay. This morning's cargo flight from Mochton to Halifax is brought to you by thepricegenie.com. As you know, graduation is right around the corner. We've got a great cookie sale. I know, right? Cookies in a basket. You send it to your graduate. Big smile. Let's face it, there's two things every graduate is going to do on graduation day. They're going to party. They're going to get the munchies. Give them a cookie at thepricegenie.com.
Indica 421, you are 300 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet altimeter, 29.59er.
Climb and maintain 8,000 feet, Indica 421.
Bet you anything they're bitching because my altimeter's off here, right? 298 I think is what he said. That's why it's a little off. Listen, just point me to the runway. I'll get the plane down. Simple. If you've never flown over it, Canada is a big place. It's huge. Huge. Coast to coast. I think you can fit the United States into Canada. Problem is you can only live mostly in the bottom 1/16th of the country. Otherwise it's an iceberg. It's like a glacier.
Indica 421, please expedite your climb 8,000 feet.
Yeah, it doesn't like that, does it? I mean, I don't know. We can screw around with it. I don't care. Try that. There you go. Now what do we got? Oh, cool by me. We're still on course. That's all I care about.
Indica 421, please expedite your climb 8,000 feet.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have your altimeter in the wrong place. Let's see if I can barometric pressure this thing out here. 2959 is what it says. Okay. Let's see if we can fix this problem here. Two 959.
Indica 421, contact Moncton Center on 135 decimal tree. Good day.
There we go. All right.
135 decimal tree, Indica 421. Goodbye. Moncton Center, Indica 421, 7,900 feet.
Indica 421 Moncton Center, altimeter 29.60, radar contact, continue.
Now, I don't know if you notice what I did there. I changed the barometric setting of the aircraft. Now, this is how all the other instruments in the aircraft know the actual altitude of airports and other locations that are above sea level. And so when I changed that, the altitude actually, according to the airplane, turned out to be 7,700 feet, not 8,000. So now it's climbing up to 8,000 feet. Based on the terrain below, some shit like that. That is a big boy. Should see what's in my cargo hold.
421, you are 41 miles northwest. Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect RNAV Yankee runway tree 2. Approach via every transition. Clear to every.
Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect RNAV Yankee runway tree 2 approach via every transition. Cleared to every. Indica 421.
Alright, we're going to limit our speed to 210 knots. Except for when the airplane wants to do its own thing. Now I don't know if you can see my flight plan. We're all good. We're on course. Everything's great. Airplane's doing great. Everybody's happy. One problem. We're going to get over the airport, and it literally is going to drop us off. And no clue as to which run. Like, I'm supposed to have that before we take off. I'd instant do it. Like, I don't know. Still learning that part. Flight plans and all. So the airplane is coming down to 210 or less as far as a speed limit. They don't want me coming any faster into the airport. It's a new thing I learned. And at some point, and I'm going to guess I need to turn that on now. I need to turn on LS. This is the landing part. And so it should start reading out how our approach is. And I'm going to turn this up to 20 miles. And I believe I'm supposed to be turning this to LS, like now. Okay. So that switches the map mode over to LS mode, ILS mode. All right. We'll see. Less than a week away from 421 Flys the North Pole. This is going to be our frequent flyer miles achievement. Bordeaux, France. Around the world to Seattle. The same amazing exodus that the Asobo team took to join the Microsoft empire.
Indica 421 descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet, Indica 421.
So yeah, we're going to attempt the same flight.
Mountain Center generic November 7316 uniform is at 1,200 feet, climbing 14,000 feet. Generic November 7316 uniform Mountain Center altimeter 29.59 radar contact continue.
So we're going to try the flight ourselves next Monday, 4:21. Be at the airport at 4:21. Bordeaux time to board flight 421. I don't know if you're aware of what we do every year at 421. So this fits in nicely. It really does. It's really great. 8.5 hour virtual flight over the North Pole. Try to keep a straight face here, as ridiculous as it all sounds. It's okay. I'm probably going to be sneaking you into the cockpit. Secretly. Bring a pillow. It's 8.5 hours. If you fall asleep, no problem. Yes, there will be snacks. All kinds of party. It's a party flight, really. It's an 8.5 hour party flight. We're celebrating something. This morning's flight from Mochton to Halifax is brought to you by thepricegenie.com and Pete's Coffee. This morning, we are drinking the Alameda blend, the Alameda Morning Aroma, something like that. Alameda, for those of you who don't know, is right outside of San Francisco across the Bay Bridge. Great location for Pete's Coffee to spring up and start shipping. That's what they do. We do the organic combo. We'll be serving that on the trip across the North Pole as well. 421 Flys here at Four Cities. Halifax, Canada is kind of an interesting place. It's like an island, but because there's a connection, it's more like a peninsula. Am I saying that correctly? Peninsula? So the airport is actually kind of outside of town. Halifax is actually a port city way over there. And this is the airport coming up here. Okay, so as you can see, the robot is lost. Like, after this point right here, nothing. And so, just start circling last night. We'll see what happens here. No matter what, I can see the runway I want to get on. And I actually see where the ILS lights are.
Descend and maintain 4,100 feet.
So the little lights at the end of the runway,
100 feet, Indica 421.
Generic
the lights.
uniform climb and maintain flight level 200.
So the lights at the end of the runway there, that is the ILS approach. So it's kind of the direction we want to come here. It looks like the airplane knows that.
Flight level 200 generic 16 uniform.
4,100, I think is what she said. Yeah, see, it's already in the turn, right? That's all it's doing right now. Circling. We'll see what it does here. Yeah. And we're not doing that. That's what happened last night. So I'm going to take this off autopilot. Go out this way.
Cessna Foxtrot Juliet Foxtrot contact Moncton Center on 123.9er. Good day. Generic 16 uniform contact Moncton Center on 123.9er. Good day.
Now sometimes.
Cessna Foxtrot Juliet Foxtrot.
Yep. Occasionally I've been able to call out to the tower and it will give me some instruction, but
16 uniform. Goodbye.
anyway, that's the way we're going to go in back there. Just getting a little distance. Turn the airplane around. Can even see where I'm supposed to be locked in over there. Alright, I'm good. Let's try it this way. Should probably climb a little since I'm only 1,000 feet up. This is where it gets a little tricky. It takes a long time to turn these things. Way off course from the airport now. Right? It's like they say in training, a good landing is all about a good approach. Yeah.
Moncton Center Airbus November 24906 uniform is at 1,200 feet, climbing 10,000 feet. Airbus November 24906 uniform Moncton Center altimeter 29.60 radar contact continue. Indica 421 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at 2,200 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Airbus 906 uniform traffic is 1 o'clock 3 miles at 3,700 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
I want a little more room.
Have the traffic.
It's not quite good yet.
Indica 421 traffic alert. 9 o'clock less than 1 mile 2,900 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Oh, these other pilots.
Have the Airbus A20N in sight.
All these other pilots are looking at me like, dude, what are you doing?
Traffic in sight.
It's like, keep an eye on 421. He's all over the place. Sorry. They told me the robot will land the plane. That's all I've been trying to do, is let the robot land the plane. That's all I've been trying to do.
Welcome back to The Price Genie at thepricegenie.com. This is the face of AI design. Artificial intelligence is going to be everywhere, so why not put it on your shirt? The robots are coming. This is the face of AI. Seriously, this is what AI really looks like. It looks great on aprons, coffee mugs, and coasters for a gift. Shirts, skirts, dresses, hoodies, sweatshirts, baseball caps, dad hats, and bucket hats. They all have the face of AI. We've even got tote bags, duffel bags, blankets, pillows, duvet covers, and shower curtains. Yes, even acrylic block art for your office, all with the face of AI. New items magically appearing every day. Subscribe to the Magic Lamp. It's all at The Price Genie at thepricegenie.com. Quality at great prices.
Cleared RNAV Yankee runway tree to approach.
Welcome back to 4 cities and 421 flies.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I just got all these instructions from the tower. They're like, yeah, you're good. Go ahead. Sure. You didn't really tell me anything. Like, you told me everything, but you didn't tell me anything. Aha. Okay. Got it. Well, here's another waypoint coming up on the ILS. It is locked on. I feel like I'm not pushing something, right? Got it on LS mode. This is on LS. This is what pilots go through, right? During training. They don't, like they don't know. Look, everything else is in the right place. So, as you can see, here's a flight plan right here. It does kind of lead to the airport. That should be it. Like, this is what the robot's telling me. Let's see if it gets it right. I don't know. Ah, here's the airport. You know, you don't have the icons on and everything is a big green forest. Okay, so we're back here at the airport. That's the approach that we should be on right there. 23. Can see all the ILS equipment. Okay. Yeah, and it's just going to circle again, which we're not going to do. All right. Looks easy, right? Just going to go out here a little ways and then heading 230 and just drop it in on him. Whatever. You don't get to control my airplane. All right. Gonna make a wide turn here over to heading 230. This is all on the stick, by the way. Can you imagine if this was a passenger flight, how pissed off everyone would be? Oh man, all the connection flights everybody would have missed? Yeah. Not good. Alright. Heading 230 is what we're after here. Okay, there it is. Got it in sight. I think part of it was altitude. I was just a little too high last time around. Give me some flaps. In fact, I'll take full flaps at this point. There we go. Okay, maybe not full. And let's go and get the landing gear down. And it's another failed ILS approach. I wish I could get him to trigger the approach pattern quicker. The pattern approach. They keep kicking it in way too late. We'll see how good it is this time. Or maybe I'm not asking for it. Is that the problem? Let's see. No. Nothing like that. Okay. Let's get this airplane down. I know how to do it. I just think it's fun when the robot does it, right? ILS. I'm a loser, so. Hilarious. And
Indica 421 contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er Indica 421. Goodbye.
what? Oh my gosh. Not again. Uh-oh, hang on everybody. This is terrible. Oh man. Oh wow. This is the A320. This is why. Emergency engine shutdown. Wow. Oh boy. Ugh. Oh, this is going to be expensive for the insurance company. Wow. Okay, thanks very much for flying. 421 Flys Mochton to Halifax. Brought to you by thepricegenie.com.
We sure hope you've enjoyed your flight. See you next time. 421 Flys at 4 cities.
Yeah.
You know what blows my mind? A recent study found that 68% of relationship-ending conflicts start with seemingly trivial disagreements, like how to make the perfect cup of coffee.
That's such a fascinating statistic. What made you bring that up?
At The Price Genie, we keep an eye on research. Well, I just came across this story that perfectly illustrates this. A young couple whose relationship is potentially unraveling over their morning coffee routine. He's 24, she's 23, and they've been living together for 6 months when things started getting intense.
Intense over coffee. That seems a bit extreme.
So here's what happened. This guy had this sweet morning ritual of making coffee for his girlfriend. But she started demanding this incredibly precise method, measuring grounds to the exact gram, pre-warming mugs for exactly 30 seconds, specific milk temperatures.
Oh wow, that's getting into professional barista territory. How did he handle all these new requirements?
At first, he tried to accommodate everything because, in his words, if she loves coffee that much, I want to make it nice for her. But it turned into this daily interrogation about every single detail of the process.
You know, this reminds me of research showing how criticism in relationships typically follows gender-specific patterns. What happened next?
Well, things reached a breaking point when she actually took his carefully made coffee, dumped it down the sink, and started making it herself while lecturing him about doing it wrong. Relationship experts call these kinds of moments sentinel events, seemingly minor incidents that reveal major underlying issues.
That's such a powerful example of how these small conflicts can escalate. How did people online respond to this?
The response was fascinating. One comment got over 19,000 reactions saying, "If I ask my boyfriend to do something for me, I accept that it is a favor, and I can't be picky." But what's really interesting is how this reflects broader patterns in relationship dynamics.
Tell me more about those patterns, especially the gender differences you mentioned earlier.
So research shows that men typically respond to criticism by withdrawing, which is exactly what this guy did by saying, "Make your own coffee." Women, on the other hand, often try to regain control through increased specificity, like these detailed coffee instructions.
That's really interesting how these gender-typical responses can actually make conflicts worse instead of better.
Exactly. And what's particularly fascinating is that studies show these daily interactions are actually better predictors of relationship success than how couples handle major conflicts. It's these small moments that either build or erode trust over time.
So what do relationship experts suggest for handling these kinds of situations?
Well, the key is recognizing when something is actually about the surface issue, in this case, coffee, and when it's about deeper patterns. Research indicates that couples who can identify these underlying issues are 67% more likely to resolve conflicts successfully.
That makes so much sense. How can couples start recognizing these patterns?
One effective approach is what therapists call the pause and reflect method. Before reacting, ask yourself, is this really about coffee, or is it about feeling respected and appreciated? Studies show this simple pause can reduce relationship conflicts by up to 30%.
These statistics really put things in perspective. What's your take on the future of this coffee-conflicted couple?
Well, relationship experts suggest that couples who can turn these conflict points into opportunities for growth have a much better chance of long-term success. But here's the kicker. Research shows that 85% of relationship issues are actually unsolvable. It's not about fixing everything. It's about managing these differences effectively.
That's quite a sobering statistic. What's the key takeaway for couples facing similar situations?
The most crucial thing is understanding that these small daily interactions, whether it's making coffee, doing dishes, or folding laundry, are really opportunities for showing love and respect. When we get too caught up in perfection, we lose sight of the connection these rituals are meant to build.
That really brings everything full circle, from coffee to connection.
And perhaps that's the real lesson here. Sometimes a cup of coffee isn't just a cup of coffee. It's a daily opportunity to choose between perfection and connection, between criticism and appreciation. The question is, which one are we brewing in our own relationships? Check out some of our favourite coffees at thepricegenie.com. They feature some very tasty organic blends we know you'll love.
Sharing a good cup of coffee can really do wonders for your relationships.
Visit www.thepricegenie.com to live and love better and learn more.